Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fab Fatties. I'm Allie.
I'm Rebecca.
Alyssa.
And today we have a very funny episode for you, we hope. We are going to be talking about embarrassment. Who's seen Inside Out 2? Who's seen Inside Out 2?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, I thought they did all of those emotions very, very well. They did embarrassment super well with like the
Hoodie.
Yeah.
The hoodie. Relatable. But honestly, when they did anxiety with like the breakdown and I was like, that's my brain. That's what's happening in my brain. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, she's, theys, gays, everybody. What were we talking about? Embarrassment. We're talking about embarrassment, how embarrassment lives in our lives and how we live with embarrassment. How embarrassment can be, how we can give too much power to embarrassment. So it then leads to shame, and we don't love that for ourselves. But we're going to tell embarrassing stories about ourselves, and we're going to tell stories about how we don't give power to embarrassment anymore. And I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that Inside Out anxiety thing. Whenever I watched that, I thought, is the only personality up there, only emotion up there in my brain that anxiety
No, it just means that anxiety is controlling the panel and the other emotions aren't coming.
Back off the panel.
I cried so hard. I was watching that and I was like, that's the brain tornado. I talk about the brain tornado all the time. I'm like, that's it. That's the brain tornado. And she's like, I was just trying to protect her. I'm like,
There's been a couple moments in our podcast episodes where I say something that makes Alyssa internally cringe to her core. And I do think that whenever I consider my own embarrassing moments, it is that cringe in. The embarrassing moments that don't make me do that are probably the ones that I am able to be more empowered, let them roll off my back better, right? But when I think about some of the ones I've had lasting power, like those moments that have stayed with me since childhood, it is the ones that I had that internal cringe right to my vertebrae, just all the way in, right? And I am curious what those moments have been for you two.
hey, Fab Fatties fans, let's be real. Too often, we fat babes are left out in the cold when it comes to outerwear, but not anymore. Our sponsor, Snow Country Outerwear, is changing the game with functional, stylish pieces made for every body. With sizes 1X to 6X for women and up to 7XL for men, plus customizable fits in short, regular, and tall options, they're making sure we all stay warm and fabulous. Visit their website at snowcountryouterwear.com and get ready to slay no matter the weather.
Yeah, and I'm really interested in the conversation around what is classified as embarrassment versus shame.
Yeah.
And how they're different and also how they're the same.
Yeah.
And what purpose they actually serve. Because they both serve a purpose, right?
Sure.
Like, so leaning into that and then, I don't know. I feel like when you understand the purpose, it's easier to work through, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I feel
I think understanding the purpose of both and also understanding the purpose of them can take away the power that they have.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that embarrassment is a bad thing. Like, I think it's just a natural reaction to thing, but it's like taking those things on and feeling it so hard that it then turns into shame that, like, I think when you can take the power away from shame is when you can start to feel empowered.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, Rebecca got us all necklaces. We all have these little matching necklaces. Little matching necklace moment. I just wanted to show you all that. Rebecca loves us.
I am the best.
She is. Yeah, this week. Anyway, so we all take turns. Speaking of taking turns, I'm going to go first. This is a story that I've not actually ever told anyone, and it's really not that like crazy, but it's just super funny. I was a kid. It had to be like maybe 6th grade. Okay. And I remember my dad was dropping a few of us off at Hebrew school on a Wednesday night. We had Hebrew school Sunday mornings. And we had Hebrew school Wednesday nights. And you're dropping us off Wednesday night. And he was asking us what we learned about in school that day. And unfortunately, we also did a little bit of like a carpool situation. So it wasn't just family in the car. There were some friends. And he asked what we learned in school that day. And I got super excited to tell him what I learned about in science that day. I really hope you guys know where this is going. I was super excited to tell him what I learned about in science that day. We learned all about the O word. Organisms. Guess what I proudly said to my father and the entire car full of friends? I learned about orgasms today, Dad. It actually, I think, still hurts a little bit. As I'm saying that, I'm like, nope, yeah. I think I'm still embarrassed.
You are getting a little red.
I'm still embarrassed. I was so proud. And then, because I was also in 6th grade and kind of a little bit of a prude. Yeah, well, in 6th grade, it's okay to be a prude.
Fair.
I didn't get what everybody was laughing about for a minute. I was like,
yeah.
I
just think that's hilarious because as an adult, you talk so proudly about orgasms,
I do. DJ too close to the sun all the time.
Like part of it is like your ownership of being able to talk about sexuality, but there was an extra syllable in there.
There was, and I missed it entirely, and I was super proud to tell organism
too.
Yeah. But I was super proud. I was like, I'll go first. This is what I learned today. Orgasms.
Yeah, unfortunately, I doubt very many religious places teach about that one.
So we were talking about what we learned in school. We were on the way to Hebrew school.
Oh, okay.
They don't teach you about organisms at a religious school either.
Listen, I was Catholic and we had CCD, and the one lesson I remembered, that was it was like the way we called the teaching thing. Like we went to CCD. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of words to it. Don't know, but it was CCD.
Catholic community, Catholic class, nope.
I learned about recycling. I don't remember very many religious teaching, but damn it, I knew about recycling.
That could have went so many ways. I learned about recycling.
So we could have learned about organisms there. I don't know. We learned about all kinds of random stuff.
About, like hellfire, but all right, cool.
No, just morality behind recycling.
Hey, recycle, kids.
Well, that is pretty embarrassing. Okay, so
thank you for affirming that for me.
Mine was the one that I think of with my childhood is funny because it's not me embarrassing myself individually. It's me and my family embarrassing ourselves.
Okay.
And
I didn't know that was an option.
Say more.
Yeah. So my family is from Michigan. I've always been in North Carolina, but my parents grew up in Michigan. Okay. So every year we would go to Michigan for, vacation to see my Nona, my other family that lives up there. And up north in Michigan, they have a lot of automotive museums and such. My family's in the car business, antique car business. So we went to the Henry Ford Museum. Okay.
Learn something new every day.
And they had this piece of artwork up on the wall, and it was in like the kids' activity area. Okay. So the artwork up on the wall expanded the entire wall, was in black and white, and looked like a dry erase marker board. Okay. And underneath it were these little drawing stations with markers and such for pieces of paper.
Oh no.
Now me and my family thought, what a cool interactive thing to paint in this piece of artwork.
Oh no.
In the museum. And I could swear that there was like a little bit of like a green tinge. Like we were not the first, okay? And we honestly are not the only.
Make yourself feel a little bit better there.
So all of us pick up a marker, and parents, kids, all of us are coloring in this painting, or not this painting, this artwork. It wasn't painting. And suddenly a museum worker runs up to us and goes, "What are you doing?" And my dad's like, she's like, that's art.
We're interacting with the art, duh.
And I just remember being so horrified that we were defacing an installation.
Oh my God.
And that we were all
complicit.
I don't even know. Like, I think part of it was like I was so embarrassed that we thought we were supposed to do that, and like we weren't. And I just remember wanting to leave. And this was prior to us getting into a gift shop. And if you know a little something about me, you know I like a little treat. And my brother's like, let's go to the gift shop. Let's go to the gift shop. And I was like, no, ow, we have to leave. Like, ask anyone.
You were
was Sally
upset.
Field
This
and Mrs.
rule
Doubtfire.
follower, this rule follower is like, we defaced property.
we have to leave.
We have to go.
I do
Girl,
not
I
get
don't
in
know if
trouble.
I think this is just anxiety.
Well, it's a lifelong thing. But yeah, I wanted to leave so bad. And I was so embarrassed to my core. And we still, as a family, talk about the time that we colored on the artwork. And it is just, like, now that I'm older, it's such a funny moment.
Yeah.
And I'm also kind of like, museum, that's a great idea. Number one.
Take notes.
Number two, why in the world would you have...
Yeah, they did a bad job.
And it literally was a surface that's not, like, permanent, right? Like, it's a surface that looks like things can be wiped off on it. Horrible idea for that setup, right? But as a child, I was so embarrassed of feeling stupid.
Why were there markers there?
There were pieces of paper apparently you're supposed to use the markers on.
It's horrible placement.
Horrible. And I may have a year or so ago tried to Google images of this display and of this area of the museum. I needed to know if it was still there. I needed to know what it looked like. I needed the context. Like, I need to re-explore how we ended up coloring on the art display in the museum. And that answer will never be there because I called the museum.
No, you did not.
And asked if it was still there. And they had no reference of it.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna talk with Rebecca about holding on to giving it power.
I just wanted to see it again. And it is funny. Like, it is funny.
Hilarious.
But even to this day, y'all know, if I'm in a situation I don't like, fight or flight. Flight.
Like, get me out of here.
Yeah, so that one came to mind when I thought of Embarrassment. Because it didn't hold shame for long, but
Sure.
Oh my gosh. Horrifying. Like, a horrifying moment for me.
But it held enough that you thought you wanted to call them and be like, hey, just so you know, decades ago.
I did not tell them the story. I just said, when I was a child...
When I was a wee lass.
Do y'all have a picture of that? Or is it still there?
And she'd be like, okay, cool. By the way.
They're probably like, man, we get like 10 visitors a day. We don't want to talk to you. This is my non-talking to people job. Please go away.
Like, we don't remember you. Like, well, I remember you.
Looking for outerwear that fits like it was made just for you? Snow Country Outerwear has you covered, literally. With designs that prioritize plus-size comfort and style, you'll find jackets, bibs, pants, and more that don't just fit, but fit well. Say goodbye to oversized boxy cuts and hello to quality customizable pieces made to handle the elements. Whether you're hitting the slopes or heading to brunch, Snow Country has the fit, warmth, and style you deserve. Shop now and find outerwear that truly works for your body.
All right, Alyssa, let's hear one.
So when we talked about this in the group chat, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, embarrassing stories. And a couple things kind of flooded my head instantly. The first story I'm going to tell, I was something that popped my head immediately. But really, a lot of it that came up was I was like, oh, that I was being bullied.
Aww.
Like, that was...
Yeah.
I felt embarrassed because I was being bullied and
Yeah.
singled out and targeted.
Yeah.
Some of the stories I thought of weren't embarrassing. They were just hilarious. Like, I was probably embarrassing to other people, but to me, I thought I was just a fucking hoot.
Yeah.
Like, I think of my family took this one trip to, I think it was Cancun. I think we went to Mexico. We're staying at a resort, and my dad got fixated the whole trip on trying to photobomb other families. And it is so...
Vince.
No, literally. And he wasn't even trying to hide it. He was wearing sandals, and he would be like, hold on, let me tie my sandal. And he down pretending he was tying his sandal and like poke his head out behind someone's
my
leg.
God.
And I thought it was hilarious. I think my sisters were cringing more, but like to me, I'm like, no, this is fantastic.
Oh my
now,
God.
and whenever we talk about that trip, my dad goes, hold on, let me tie my sandal. Like, it's so funny to me. So I had a really hard time. I think I had two memories come up that I was like, okay, I think I can share these. And the first one, when I was in middle school, I started auditioning for the musicals.
Yeah.
So I started in 6th grade, and I did 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I did the musicals. I did them in high school, but like I did all 3 years in middle school.
Yeah.
So there was something special with the musicals. where we did a preview for the entire school.
Okay.
So this was like a special treat to be like, you get to go out of class, you get to perform in front of all of your peers. Like, it's really cool. Well, didn't get to do it 6th grade, didn't get picked 7th grade. And I was like really disappointed. And I finally got picked in 8th grade. And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like so excited.
Yeah.
The musical was Cinderella. I almost didn't get to do it because I was in a boot the first half of the year.
Oh, no.
And then, yeah, so I was like rehearsing for the musical in a boot, in a cast, whatever. I was good. I made it. I booked the gig. Booked and blessed. So Cinderella, I was a dancer. I was a little waitress. I came in with a little serving platter and we came on stage. I'm so excited. And the girl in front of me, we were supposed to like walk in and like put our trays down in front of whoever. I don't freaking remember the scene or anything. And the girl in front of me is walking. She turns to put her tray down and she sticks her foot out behind her. And I trip over her foot.
Oh, no.
And eat it center stage.
Oh, no.
Completely eat it. Mm-hmm. So I'm flat on my face, center stage. I get up. I keep going. I get off stage. I'm mortified. Mortified. This is when I make things worse.
Oh, no.
How do you make things worse, Alyssa? Well, girls were trying to make me feel better, and they were like, no, it's on purpose. Like, you're the clumsy little waitress. And I'm like, little server. I'm like, oh, okay. So then everyone starts teasing me, and I double down.
You decide to become the bit.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh my God, Rebecca, you just psychoanalyzed me. Oh my God, Rebecca, I need to write this down in my journal right now.
Oh my
God. No,
God.
I think that literally just made it worse because then everyone just like kept wanting to tease and I was like, no, I was the clumsy server. Like that was what I was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. That's what I was supposed to do. But I was so sad. I was so embarrassed. Aww. I was like, all I wanted to do was a good job and the entire school, the entire 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Yeah, girl. Love that for you.
The 2 memories popped up while you told that story.
Please.
One was that in 6th grade, I was also in a musical, like our whole class was. But for some reason...
She's coming for us!
Shocker!
Don't come for my brand.
This one line from the song has always stayed with me. This musical is about friendship and kindness.
What was the musical?
It had no name. I don't remember.
There's a name.
All right, well, here's the song. You can look it up for me.
Okay.
Love and kindness, they remind us to treat each other with care.
Oh, it's a junior for sure.
The world around us. Da, 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 da.
Oh!
Love and kindness, they remind us to treat each other with care. You and me, we can be friends. All right, so that was that one.
He got really excited about that.
Yeah,
you know what? For the first time in our friendship, Rebecca, I'm feeling secondhand embarrassment.
Listen, I never saw the singer.
This is
Sorry,
is new
one
for
sec,
me.
y'all. We need to let Lucky out. Second thought was, I remember we had like an end of course grade test, like end of course test, whatever.
I thought she said end of horse.
No, I heard end of course.
EOCs. All right, and I must have finished early, and I started nodding off and falling asleep. And I remember waking up going... And as a kid in school, you're not allowed to have bodily functions in any kind of way, right?
Not at all.
And I remember just looking up, and there was this kid in front of me who was sleeping. And I was like, did it work? I don't know. I told myself it worked. But I just totally passed it off. I was like, oh my God, did I hear him snore?
I mean, I love that for you.
I'm such a bitch.
Listen, sometimes it's self-preservation, okay?
Honestly, yeah.
How embarrassing, but I snored.
I love that for you, though.
Yeah.
I love that. I actually was on I was at a real estate conference one time, and we had 2 rooms that we were all splitting, and there was one girl that was staying with us that was not on our real estate team, but she just, I guess, she was staying with us, and she relocated. because I used to be a bit more of a snorer than I am now. And it was quite loud, and she relocated. So thanks for jogging that memory for me.
Yeah, my friends have told me before that I need to get a separate room because I snore so much.
Yeah.
I don't snore as badly as I did, but
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
So it's funny, like I was thinking about like, you know, I guess secondhand embarrassment or things that like, you know, things that maybe happen to you, someone embarrasses you, right? And so there was a moment I had where like, I didn't necessarily think it was that embarrassing, but it was the way that people reacted around me
To it.
that I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like super, super embarrassed. So a few years back, I went to the Panthers training camp. During the summer, they train at Wofford in South Carolina, and you can actually go and watch them train. And they'll have like special days where, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, we were there for training camp, and after, as the players are like going back to the locker or whatever, some of them will stop by and, you know, give you their autographs. They'll chat with you for a second or whatever. And, you know, I'm a massive Panthers fan. So, as they were walking by, I got Luke Kuechly's signature. I realized that I got Luke Kuechly's signature. I got Greg Olson's signature. I got Thomas Davis' signature. I got him to take a picture with me. This was all very exciting to me. But then Calvin Benjamin walked up, and Calvin Benjamin to me was a very attractive football player. He walked up, and I think I got a little tongue-tied, and I apparently was just like, "You didn't really get out there today?" Yeah, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "You didn't really get out there today?" Yeah, I hear it now, and I can tell that it's very embarrassing, but it was the way that my husband at the time and his brother and his father all laughed hysterically at me in front of this giant football player that I was like, oh my God. And I turned the color of a tomato, and I wanted to leave immediately. So now I think about that. I think about how I embarrassed myself in front of a football player, but he didn't really make it long in the league anyway, so it's fine.
So that serves you right for not hearing me correctly.
I do get starstruck. I do get a little starstruck. I'm not great. I did meet another Panthers player when I was working at a restaurant. He came in, and I definitely I was like, you guys, I'm gonna take the food to this table. Back the fuck off. And so I did. I delivered his food, and I was like, no, I got to. Sir, I'm just a big fan. Big fan of yours. Big fan. But he was super nice, though. Jordan Gross, he was very, very nice. He then, like, he asked his server, because I was not his server. I just hijacked his food. But he asked his server for, like, a piece of paper so he could write me a nice little note.
Aww,
he was very
cute.
nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, anyway. What you got?
Okay. I'm starting to really question this episode. Because I'm just out here giving some dark, deep secrets.
Oh, no, listen. I have not even scratched the surface on my terrible ones.
Hey, everyone. Did you know that the Fab Fatties are on Patreon? Yes, we are. And you can follow us for more behind-the-scenes chaos. We have bloopers. We have Allie raging. We have, me climbing out windows. I don't know. We just have a bunch of crazy stuff over there. Yeah, so you can find us on Patreon. That's PATREON.com
/the Fab Fatties.
PATREON. That's what I said.
.com /the Fab Fatties.
And we will see you over there. Mike Petroselli.
Mike Petroselli.
My best friend. Which is so funny because me and him are the type of friends who we will not talk for an entire year. And then we'll catch up. And then we won't talk for the next year. But he is my longest running friend. We met in Mr. Frank's class at Sunrise Drive in 5th grade. So we met in 2004. What?
What? 5th grade?
Yeah, 2004.
Okay. I just needed to process that for a second.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so 2004.
Mike Petroselli.
I was in high school.
Sunrise Drive Elementary School. Mr. Frank's class. My man. Now, a lot of embarrassing things happened with Mike, and me and him now joke about it, but we were best friends. It was finally like the first time where I was like, I got a friend.
Yeah.
Like, me and Mike were hanging out. I was like, this is my fucking bud. Everyone teased us that we were dating, and it made me so embarrassed that to this day that Mike tells the story that we were in gym and we were supposed to be paired up, and I threw like a tantrum about not wanting to be his partner.
Oh no.
And I made him feel bad, and I was like, no,
Aww.
but it's because everyone's teasing that we're dating.
Gotcha.
Anyways, the teacher wrote a note home to my mom that day being like, Alyssa was really upset to be Mike's partner today. And I was like, that's, first things first, snitch. Anyways, I digress. 5th grade, me and Mike. I don't remember, I feel like I'm a bad friend right now because I don't remember what he was doing in the talent show. And I don't even remember wanting to be in the talent show, but my mom signed me up for the school talent show. And what is embarrassing enough is this year in dance class, I was just going to do my dance, like my group dance by myself. And this year, Miss Penny taught us a tap routine to Old MacDonald. It was a remix.
Okay.
Just remix edition.
Just want to throw that out there. But yes, it did. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm, he had some chickens, E-I-E-I-O.
Okay.
With a cluck,
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 cluck
here and a
cluck, cluck there.
Okay, so there was some clucking that happened in this routine.
Okay.
Now, I wish this was the embarrassing part. Because, yes, I will have to find pictures. It was a fake hairpiece that went in right like this. The hair stuck up with big red bows in the front. And I had overalls. Yep.
It's a look.
It was a look, and I did this all by myself on stage.
Cluck.
It was the performance, and we're standing in the hallway, and it's just me and Mike. And I can't tell this. I'm so embarrassed. I'm cringing.
We have to know now.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to say this, and it's going to live on the internet forever.
Can't wait. I'm ready.
So, me and Mike are in the hallway, and I look this boy, at the time, in his eye and go, I'm not wearing underwear.
What?
And he's like, why? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. My mom, because, oh God, I can't.
That's
It's
a Alyssa statement.
This is a dance costume. So you don't wear underwear with dance costumes because of the lines, right? You wear tights. Okay, I was a dancer, okay? You wear your tights, and it's supposed to be like no seams and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was like a weird thing, and I was just sharing with my friend, like, oh, it's like so weird, and he don't know. He was like, you're not wearing underwear. I was like, no, look.
Oh my She's been flashing for a long time.
And then he got embarrassed. And then I got embarrassed. I was like, what the fuck was I just thinking? I just showed him my ass. I didn't put it together that if you're not wearing underwear, because I had the tights
You didn't
on.
even mean to. Oh my goodness.
I didn't even mean to. I felt like a fucking idiot.
Wait, I think that part is funnier to me.
No, I know. I felt so
God.
stupid. I was like, oh my God, Alyssa, you're wearing tights. They're see-through.
Oh my God.
You just showed him your ass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Me and Mike have never spoken about that moment.
Well,
I should ask him next time.
Honestly, I probably will text him right after this being like, so I just told the story on the podcast. Do you remember when I flashed
Hi,
you my
Mike.
ass?
Mike, how did you feel about that moment, Mike? Did it stay in your long-term memory, your core memory?
I hope not. Gosh, I hope not. But yeah, I flashed my best friend's, my butt unintentionally.
I love that for you.
But also intentionally?
Accidentally, intentionally.
Oh, so bad.
Honestly, that checks out for you.
I know!
really does.
But it doesn't make it better!
I feel like we need to, in solidarity, go a little deeper here.
I was gonna say, this is where we start getting into the embarrassment / shame gray area, right? So, like, I feel like embarrassment is in the moment. It's, like, situational. You feel really out of control or embarrassed by the moment. Like, you didn't even think you were going to flash them, right? It just happened, and then you're left that feeling of, oh, I did something wrong, or this thing I wouldn't have normally shown or wanted it to happen, right? And so, like, we all have those moments, and those are embarrassing, and I think they're easier to kind of come away with later on thinking about how funny they are, even if in the moment our first instinct is to run away from it.
Yeah.
And then the shame part is where it ends up internalizing into...
What are people going to think about me?
Yeah, we're a bad person, or these people know this now about me. And I can live with them knowing this about me, and... Or, like, oh, this is a signal or a sign of something bigger than just this one moment, right? Like when I think about, when we tell our stories, like, I think about the times in my life where I've had a similar situation, right? And I think about times where maybe I've shown someone a body part, and intentionally or not, and their reaction to it is something that, like, sticks with me, right? And I'm like, okay, what makes that not embarrassment but shame? And I'm like, that's because it then told me a bigger story about my body that stayed with me. That you then
believed about yourself.
Right. And so it is such a fine line, because oftentimes embarrassment is an emotion on the way to the shame train, you know, like
100%.
It gets us there.
Okay, so my embarrassment to shame train, we're going to go deep here. We're deep shit. So when I was a kid, I want to say it was like 3rd grade, I was going to the bathroom at school.
How embarrassing. That's having to go to the bathroom. It really, truly was.
You know, but I was going number 2 at school. And it's still so hard for me to talk about. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I was going number 2 at school, and literally these girls, like, came into the bathroom and were like, oh, my God, somebody's doing that in here. And, like, made such a big fucking deal about it. And I was, like... so embarrassed, so fucking embarrassed. Like, how dare I do a bodily function at school in the bathroom? And so I, from that day on, decided I was never doing number 2 in a public restroom again. So I literally dubbed myself, Shit Break from American Pie. Obviously that came out later, but yeah, Shit Break from American Pie. That's me. But that did work out for most of my life until last year.
I'm rooting for you telling this rootin' tootin' story that's about to happen.
It's a rootin' tootin' story. Nice. Okay, so woo. And I think the thing is like, for me, what I internalize here, right, is talking about bodily functions, talking about bodily functions going awry, right? Internalizing, I'm a fat girl. I'm not allowed to be gross.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed, like, for these things to happen to me, because I'm already on another level of, like, I have to meet all of these other expectations just because I'm not in a, socially acceptable body. I'm not, you know, there's already all these assumptions on top of me that, like, I'm not allowed to shit in my car. And I shit in my car, everybody. Not, like, in my car, in my pants in my car. All right? So...
Allie, say the words that you really mean. You shit yourself.
I shit my pants.
You did.
I shit my pants. I shit my pants. And now, honestly, it feels funny to say. Yeah. But did I call Rebecca? Did I call Rebecca and say, Rebecca, I shit my pants and I don't know what to do? I did, because I was 40 minutes away from, because I drove. I knew that there was an emergency situation brewing, okay? And instead of just going straight to a bathroom, I drove 40 minutes out of the way I was in Philly. I was staying at my cousin's apartment, but my cousin was 40 minutes away from her apartment, babysitting. And so, instead of going to a public restroom that was readily available to me, I drove 40 minutes out of the way to get her keys, to then drive 40 minutes back to use her restroom. And we all know how that story works out. So I grabbed her keys from her. I made one turn, I think, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. So I pulled into a parking lot. I was at a Barnes and Noble, and it's like as soon as I put my car in park, my body was like, oh, we're good now, right? Great. And we were not good.
You were not good.
We were not good. We were not good. And yeah, so rest in peace to that whole outfit.
Poopsie.
Yeah, that outfit went down trash chute in Philadelphia. Fortunately for me, I did do a lot of praying on the way back to the apartment for 40 minutes, which is not a pleasant. The windows were down, but a lot of praying on the way back to the apartment that nobody was going to be in that 12-story ride up the elevator. Oh God, this just keeps getting worse. But yeah, and then that outfit just went down that trash chute and.
Never to be seen again.
So did my pride.
I like to think that the current generations are better because everybody poops as a book. And I think a good sequel is everybody shits their pants. And like, we just all need to know, everyone shits their pants at least once or twice.
In their life?
In their, non-diaper wearing era of their life,
I just need to tell you how I then told James that story.
Oh no.
Because I don't think he heard that version, so you're welcome, baby. But the next morning was when I got the nerve to tell him, and I was like, so I wasn't feeling well. And, I have trouble with public bathrooms. So I tried to make it to the bathroom, and I didn't make it. And that was my cute little story. So maybe don't watch this one, James.
Yeah, I have to admit, like, I told the girls when we were doing this episode, I was like, I'll try not to make all my stories about poop. And you can ask them, like, I talk shit, y'all. I talk about shit.
You guys do very much talk a lot about poop.
I have 3 siblings, and we joke that we can't get through a family meal without us bringing it up at some point in time. Poop stories. And I am thankful for having gotten over the hurdle of being fearful of talking about poop. Now, my community service that I do now is I'm the one that will bring up poop in new relationships so that everybody has the freedom to poop and talk about poop as they need.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for your service, ma'am.
I appreciate it. Even with Jordan, I literally was like, I need to tell you about the story in 5th grade when I shit my pants. I'm like, listen.
You're like coming in guns hot.
She's not like, don't tell me what you think about marriage. Don't tell me how many kids you want. Listen, I pooped in 5th grade.
I shit my pants.
And even my brother-in-law, Brandon, who Jordan got to spend some more time with past week for Thanksgiving, Brandon's like, listen, Becky broke the seal. She's the first one to toot in front of me whenever we was dating my sister Katie. And I was like, you're welcome. You now have a more comfortable relationship where y'all can toot in peace. So, that is the community service that I do. Is it's okay for everybody to poop. And it is okay for it to go awry. It is fine, okay? But this very much aligns with your story about
for joining me.
That the need to perform that our body never does anything odd or weird or out of the norm, whatever. Okay. I'm Italian. Okay.
Where's this going?
I don't know. I'm buckled up though.
Italians are hairy. My Nona gave me a kiss on my cheek and my forehead, and her mustache would always just glide on me, okay? 2, me and my sisters, we all have had hormonal issues. I've technically never been diagnosed with PCOS, but I got facial hair, okay? And I started getting facial hair in early high school. I would spend hours ravaging my face. Like, I got scarring because of how much I was trying to get hair out of my face. And I was also in the marching band. Marching band can be brutal, all right? Marching band can be exciting, but you're around that community all the time. I have to admit, I have to think it's like theater kids where you're just around each other all the time.
All the time.
And all the band kids were dating each other, and it was all very incestuous, like, the band camp jokes.
Incestuous, yeah.
So, I did not, like, there were very few guys that expressed any kind of interest in me as a high schooler. I did not feel pretty. I did not feel desirable, any of that, right? But of course, I'm around these guys in band. I had crushes. I had crushes on lots of boys. On the band bus to some kind of competition, etc. There was this boy named Tracy. There was 2 Tracys in our band. One Tracy's a good Tracy, and one Tracy's a bad Tracy.
Both boys?
Yes.
Man.
Interesting.
The bad Tracy. The good Tracy actually follows me online, so hi, Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
The bad Tracy. He looked at me and he goes, "You have a beard. You have chin hairs." He doesn't just say it quietly to me.
Oh.
He announced it to the whole bus.
Yep.
And then once he says it, he goes, "She has chin hairs. She has a beard."
Yep.
Okay. So further telling me, like, I am not desirable. No one will ever want to kiss me. I have chin hairs.
my God.
Right? So, like, that happened. And I remember in college, being in color guard, all these damn fucking band kids, like, go fuck yourselves, okay? I was in college and I was in color guard. And at this point, I was fully shaving half my face, right? And I think the girl, she's an older girl in the band. She's an older girl in color guard. We both liked the same boy. We both knew it. She was a little bit competitive. Neither of us got him. Okay. But,
She's like, so fuck you, bitch.
but she must, like, sometimes when the sun hits me, you can see where I started removing hair, you know, and then where I still had the peach fuzz. She goes, "Do you shave your face?" And let me just tell you, being a woman who removes facial hair from your face holds a lot of shame.
Yeah.
And I actually, like, love Voluptuous Leah because she always posts about, like, this is my travel shaving kit for my face.
Yeah.
And I do think, like, as an adult, that is something I still struggle with. Even this morning, okay? Like, I grow facial hair very quickly. I can't necessarily wax it because you have to let it grow to a certain length to wax it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I can't let it get, like, I go out every day and I'm not willing to be seen with facial hair. That's how deep it is. Like, I'm not willing to be seen with facial hair. And I think a lot of people are like that, right? And so I can't wax. I have to remove it by plucking or shaving, whatever. Even this morning, Jordan spent the night and he wakes up and he's looking at me and I'm like, "Don't look at my chin. You know, don't look at my chin." And I have to say, there was one day I was like, "I need you to leave the room because I need to shave my face." And he came over and he just hugged me and he put his little head right here and I'm like, shaving my face. He's like, "Baby, I know. I see your face. Like, I know you have hair sometimes on your face."
I still hide it from Billy.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's
I do.
really, I don't like him to see it. I don't like him to see it. I don't like him. It's absolutely still linked in my mind to desirability.
Yep.
Yeah. And femininity.
Yep.
And I do think I lean towards expressing myself way more feminine, you know? And yeah, I struggle. There's part of me that's like, LOL chin hair, you know, and like with my girlfriends. And then when it comes to the guys, because the guys are who's made me feel horrible about it, although girls too, but still in the reference of me being disgusting to guys, it felt like, oof, that is an embarrassment shame thing. And I do think the more I just talk about the fact that, yeah, I have facial hair, and like a lot of women have facial hair. I happen to have a lot of facial hair, which not all women have as much as me. And it is what it is. Like, I'm going out more without makeup now. Like, you know, I think I'm trying to push my comfortability with it because I know it makes me feel like I have to present myself fully make-upped, you know, and all of that. And I'm letting people close to me see and know, because if like maybe one day with Jordan, I'm going to want to let it grow for a couple of days so I can wax it, you know, like I'm going to have to get over it. But I do. Humor helps me deal with it, and humor helps. And then him being like, "No, you don't have to hide it." Even as much as I want to hide it from him, he's just like, "I've seen it already, babe. Like, it's okay."
Yeah.
But yeah, that embarrassment shame really, and that's been there since I started having it, you know, high school.
Yeah.
You know, I have a weird thing that I'm like embarrassed about because my sisters used to do that to me. By saying that they were helping me, by telling me, by making me aware of something, but they did it in very public ways. So my ears overproduce wax. So my ears are very waxy. And
Never noticed.
Thank you. Well, there's a reason.
I was going to say, the more you know.
So I am constantly like, I'm very, very cognizant of the way that my ears look because my sisters would constantly, "Ew, you have wax in your ears. Ew, you have wax in your ears. Ew, your ears. Ew, your ears are gross."
You.
Right? But like
Everyone
they
has
would do it in very public ways. And I'm like, why do you have to do that? "Oh, I'm just helping you. I'm just letting you know." I'm like, no, I'm fucking aware, you know? But it made me so embarrassed of it and like so ashamed of it that I you won't fucking see it ever now. Like I viciously, like, I scrub my ears in the shower and then I'll take the Q-tip, like, wax, not me.
Yeah.
Not me. You know,
Yeah.
like, and it's just like, it's a normal bodily thing, right? Normal bodily functions, but like, there are people that will make you feel, and like, it really sticks with you. Like, so, and like, they didn't have to do that. That guy, Tracy,
You're
didn't have to scream
gross,
about it.
You neglect,
Yeah.
you know, like, or you're neglectful towards your hygiene or something.
Yeah.
You know, I think the amount we get, like, bullied for, like, gender performance, stuff like that. Being a girl, being womanly, wanting to be attractive, oh man, that figured into the facial hair thing.
What I find really interesting about this episode and this topic is, you know, I found myself just last week in therapy talking about shame. Mm-hmm. And that shame really does serve a purpose. And the purpose of shame, right, is it communicates to us that we maybe did something wrong. Right?
Sure.
So there are situations that we should be shameful about, you know? I'm trying to think of like a low-hanging fruit one of maybe not reaching out to a loved one if someone that they in their family passed away, right? Like not reaching out to a friend being like, hey, I'm here for you. Like that's shitty.
Not voting for people's rights.
There's definitely some morals and some gray areas that like people should be shamed about, right? Let's sit here and talk about racism, fat phobia, like people who are racist.
Yeah, if you're racist, you should be ashamed of
you
yourself.
should be. There are people who should feel shame around that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It is communicating to them that behavior is not acceptable.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think that that's something that, like, there are so many people that are like, oh, well, you should be shamed because you're fat. No. But the whole, like, oh, well, you know, you can disagree but still be friends. No, there are things that I don't need to be friendly or respectful to someone who is openly racist, openly homophobic, openly fatphobic. Like, no, I am comfortable making you uncomfortable about
Yes.
that.
Yeah, right there. I'm not even saying it in the sense of like we should be weaponizing shame, but I'm
No.
saying it in the sense of like shame serves a purpose, right? And the purpose is to communicate that there is certain behaviors that are not acceptable.
Sure.
Right? So when we talk about embarrassment, right? I think what is interesting is like, how do you own it? Of like, I'm just a flawed person, and you don't let it fester into shame, right? I've like all of the stories that we have shared, like there is an aspect of like shame in it of like, oh gosh, I was such an idiot. I didn't realize that my tights are see-through, right? Like I internalized that into how stupid can I be, right? Yeah. You know, internalizing things of like,
I didn't read the rules appropriately and I was not...
or feeling undesirable, right?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, or, you know, defacing public art, you know?
I'm a defacer.
100%. So I think what I found so compelling to be like, let's just embarrass ourselves by like being transparent is like, we're not owning those. Like those moments aren't going to define us.
Yeah.
Even though Rebecca did psychoanalyze me in this episode and I am slightly spiraling about it.
The only reason I said that is because you talk yourself about how you will lean into it.
I'm a bit.
Yeah.
I am the bit.
Yeah, you're comfortable
That's
with
what
it.
my merch is going to say. Well, I'm not here for the bit. I am the bit.
I was about to continue psychoanalyzing you, and
No,
I will
please do.
not.
No, please do.
My thought is, if you're the bit, you don't have to own it. It's the bit, right? You don't have to...
She's like, Mom, I gotta go.
I did it for the bit. It doesn't mean that's who I am.
Amber.
Yeah, but it's not just you.
Amber, I'm coming for your job, girl.
Amber's my therapist.
But you and I do it in different ways, right? But we both use humor. We both use humor to deflect embarrassment, to deflect the hurt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, right? You can't laugh at me because I'm laughing at me.
Right. And I do think there's a dose of that's healthy, right?
Absolutely.
Like falling down in public, like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna be like, Thank you.
I'll be like, yes, I am. Hi, I would like my award for most clumsy bitch. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, I will laugh something off before you get a chance to make me feel bad about it.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think what is interesting is universal. It's not the fat experience it is, everyone experiences it. But yeah, like, I think there are specific things that as folks in larger bodies, we get more embarrassed about, get really, really embarrassed about snoring in a larger body.
Yeah.
I have not told my story to everyone, but my LIRR experience
Oh my God. Yeah.
Long Island Railroad, when I was in New York and I made the train.
I don't think you told her.
I don't think
Do I chugga choo us home?
Yeah.
Okay, last story to wrap us home. I just was in New York. I'm gonna paint this picture for you so quick. Plane lands, 11:55, wheels on the ground. The train I'm trying to make is... No, I'm lying to you. Excuse me. Plane lands on the ground, wheels, at 11:55. Is that what I said?
Yes.
Oh.
We're not going to let Alyssa be embarrassed about her storytelling skills either. She just forgets sometimes.
I do. Was it a... Now my times are getting... No, okay. I think I got this.
Just note that the train was leaving at 12:50.
12:50, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it was a 12:50 train. My flight lands at like, let's just say 11:45, we're like wheels on the ground. I had just over an hour. So we're wheels on the ground. I go, I could make it. Mistake number one. I couldn't make it. So I'm like, I got this. I'm going to make this train. Because all I know is that me and Rita got shit to do. Right? Like, we got to hustle here. So I got to get my ass to Ronkonkoma. So she's like, Ronkonkoma?
I don't like these names.
Yeah. Syosset, Ronkonkoma.
Gotcha.
Okay. I am the last row on the plane, the window seat. We get to the gate. Everyone gets off the plane. I'm the last one. I go, okay, grab my stuff. And I have to pee. And I'm like, if I'm going to make this, there's no time to pee. There's no time. And I fucking go. I get my stuff, walk off the plane, get off, and I'm going, hustling, bustling. So I pull up the Uber app on my phone, and if I ordered the Uber at that moment, I would be pulling up to the train station at 12:50. And I'm like, I'm fucked. Yet I'm still committed. I'm going for this train. I'm going to try and make this train. So I'm going. And I'm trying to find where the rideshare pickup is, because at big airports, they have designated locations. You can only get picked up like at Terminal A, E, whatever, 1, 2, it doesn't matter. So I'm running. All of a sudden, I see yellow taxis next to me. Now, if you're a fucking New Yorker, you know, do not take the yellow taxis.
She took the yellow taxi.
I had to take the yellow taxi. If I was going to make this train, I had to take the yellow taxi. So I already committed. I'm going to be paying double the fare to get to Jamaica to get on this train. I'm like, I'm doing it. So I wait. So I get over there and I go, anyone going to Jamaica? Everyone looks at me. No one answers. I'm like, well, none of you are from around here, are you? Okay? Just trying to save a couple bucks here. Get all of the yellow taxis, roll up, and I start running to the next open one. Guy jumps out, grabs my luggage. I look him dead in the eye and I go, I'm trying to make a 12:50 train out of Jamaica. Can you get me there? He goes, yes. I go, great, let's go. We get in the car. He starts driving. He goes, where are we going? I'm like, fuck, this is not good. Jamaica Station. Doesn't understand what I'm saying. Gives me his phone to put in the address. I'm like, God damn it. Put in the address. And we start going. And he's trying to talk to me. And I could not understand him. First things first, he's talking, looking at the road, right? So like his sound isn't traveling to me. And I got so lost in the conversation. He was trying to ask me if I was visiting. And I said, yes. And he said, you're not from here. And I said, no, I am. I live somewhere else. We lost each other. So bad so that he gets to a stop sign, puts the brake on, and turns around to talk to me instead of driving. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to make this fucking train. Okay, we get to Jamaica Station. I go, track 7. He parks at track 1. I'm like, God damn it. This is not it. I grab all my stuff and I fucking run, Rebecca. Run. I got a backpack. I got my suitcase. I have my heavy ass winter coat, my phone, and I'm just running. I run 7 track lengths. I get to track 7. I turn the corner and I fucking look up and it's Mount Everest. actual Mount Everest. It's three gigantic flights of steps to get to the top. I look left, no elevator. I look right, no elevator. I say, God damn it. Grab my stuff and I start running up the steps. Running up the steps. Made it to one. Running up again. Running. I get to the last thing and I start hearing the beeping of the doors closing and I just scream, wait! This is the embarrassing part. All of this lead up for this one moment. I see the door closing and I launch myself into the train. Launch! Like Superman fly into the train. The door opens because I wouldn't let it close. I get in. I'm so out of breath. I fall to the ground. I'm literally like... sweating, dripping with sweat, and I'm just so bad. I stood there for a minute contemplating my life. I gathered my stuff and I do the walk of shame down the aisle, huffing and puffing and dripping with sweat, and everyone is staring at me. And I sat my ass down and I just went... I was like, you know what? Everyone could stare at me, but you know what I did? I made the 12:50 train to Ronkonkoma.
I'm not gonna lie. You know what I kept waiting for?
What?
For you to pee your pants.
Oh.
No, I was waiting for the moment that you peed your pants.
It gets so much better because Rita picks me up and I'm like, Rita, I gotta pee. And she's like, okay, well, it's a bit of a drive. So we're driving. We stop at McDonald's. We're driving around. I don't go to the bathroom at all. We get to her house and I start putting my stuff down. And she's like, go to the bathroom. I was like, what? She's like, you had to pee. I was like, oh shit. I literally just forgot. I just was in such fight or flight mode to make this train. Anyways.
Isn't that funny though that like, that is still, whether you're in a flat body or not, that's a universal experience. Anybody who is trying to make that timeline work and who had that frustrating taxi driver who stopped at track 1 instead of track 7 and then had to haul their ass up the stairs, anybody would have been out of breath and sweating and all of those things. It's a universal experience.
Yeah, girl,
right?
But I was the fat girl sweating on the train out of breath.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? That's, yeah, I know we're wrapping up, but like, if I'm doing it and I don't know the people, I can deal.
Oh.
But if my friends or friends of friends are watching me do that,
then it's different.
I melt.
No, that's so fair.
Yeah, I'm like,
I do
go
think
without me.
I think there was an aspect of once I sat down being like, yeah, bitches, you look at what a champion looks like. Ask me where I just came from. Ask me, LaGuardia.
No, but it is wild though. Like, I mean, well, we talked about this on our episode where you and I were just chit chatting. But like, when I got sick during that photo shoot, I'm like literally, you know, I'm super hot, I'm super sweaty, and I wound up throwing up. And I'm like, oh, it's because I'm fat. You know, it's because I'm just a fat girl and I got overheated. No, I didn't eat in the previous 12 hours leading up, and all I did was chug 40-something ounces of water. My body was like, no, bitch. No, thank you. You know?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, like in our heads, we make a bigger deal out of it because we've had experiences in our lives that tell us that we should be ashamed of these things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I have just found that the more that I'm willing to have these conversations and the more that I'm willing to shed light on my embarrassing moments, the less shame that I am carrying around.
I love that. I feel like that's poetic.
And as much as like I've known Allie's shit her pants story since the day it happened. One of the things I love about you sharing it online is you get to be a hot girl and
who shits her pants,
who has shat her pants, and you're still a hot girl. You know what I mean? Like, I just think like this whole idea, like we can't break the image. It's just such bullshit that really ends up keeping us in a cage, and we don't have to. Like, I can be smart and have colored on a painting or our piece of artwork, you know what I mean?
And
I can be smart and accidentally deface public art.
And you can be a hot girl with facial hair. You can be a badass and still get sweaty after running from LaGuardia, right? We can be two things can be true at once, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on that note,
we're fat.
We're fab.
I wanted to say we're fab.
Should have taken it.
Damn it.
And sometimes we shit our pants.
But most of all, we are
1, 2, 3
friends.
We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.